Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. I'm Hirantadia. Overall, the pressure in the markets does continue for a second consecutive session after the kind of dip that we saw yesterday as well. However, there is a lot of stock-specific action that we've been witnessing in trade today. To discuss few of the stocks, joining us on the show is Kshitiz Mahajan, Managing Partner and CEO at Complete Circle Wealth Solutions, joining in. Welcome to the show, Kshitiz, and a very good morning to you.
Well, Hiral, good morning and thank you. It's always a pleasure to be with you on this show.
Thank you so much. Kshitiz, let's start with two stocks, the Bajaj twins that have been moving in trade today. Overall, if you see in terms of Bajaj Finance as well as Bajaj Finserv, in terms of the performance, today Bajaj Finance is down around 2.5%. And if you see in the last 1 month as well, we've seen a marginal uptick that has come in. Similar is the scenario with Bajaj Finserv as well. What would you recommend an investor to do with both these counters?
I will share, my thoughts on whatever businesses we'll discuss. There are no recommendation here, but I can tell you that these businesses are for long term. When you buy Bajaj Finance or Bajaj Finserv, we like both the businesses. Both businesses are part of our investment universe. Bajaj Finance per se, let's talk about. I think one company which has shown consistent growth over the last 15 years, and that in excess of 30%. And we still see that a lot has to be done in terms of the offering of Bajaj Finance. It's a fintech play, and the way things are moving, the way the credit takeoff in terms of, I'm not talking about the corporate India, but talking about the individual side is moving. There's a lot of scope building up. They have 64, 65 lines of lending which is there. And at the same time, we can see a transit shift of mindset of people, wherein initially it was more toward the saving side, but I think after wave 2, a lot more has changed, and we have seen individual buying pattern has changed, and to some extent discretionary spend has gone high. So all this will add on. So quarter numbers are in front of us. The way they are doing things, they are expecting, the guidance is very clear that they'll be growing their numbers. The earning growth will be around 24 to 25% for next quarter also. So yes, the expected guidance vis-a-vis what they have given, is a little low. But my sense is that this is just maybe a quarter or two. You can see numbers a little low, but it will eventually pick up. So we see that one can start. We are buying at these levels. I think there's a momentum which is building up. We are buying in a staggered manner, Bajaj Finance in our portfolios. One can actually look at adding this portfolio to their kitty after they have done the due research from their side.
Right. So that's with regards to where the Bajaj twins go. Moving on, another counter from the mainstream is the Reliance Industries that is in focus. Now, overall, it's been a pretty volatile ride if you see in terms of Reliance Industries in the last 1 year, because it's traded between that 250 to almost around, it did touch a high of around little over 2,800 as well in the last 1 year. But again, it's little somber right now. From all the businesses that Reliance covers, what's the view from a valuation perspective? And do you see a value in terms of buying Reliance at current levels?
So here, how many companies are actually registering 100 billion plus, revenue growth or profit growth? In India, it's only the company with the highest weightage in index of 12%. Now, my point is, it's a company where they have different businesses. Now they are talking about clean energy, where they are going to infuse 750 billion INR to scale up that business also. So if you actually look at the different part of the business, whether it's petchem or your retail or telecom, so there's a gradual shift in terms of the way the business is generating EBITDA. So last year it was almost 43-44% generated by Geo and retail. This year it's 50% almost. It's been generated by retail and your telecom. You see telecom, the ARPU is stepping up. In terms of retail, the numbers have gone up by 5x times in terms of their digital order and presence. They are stepping up the store, which is in excess of 750 now on Geo retail stores. So things are moving up, and you're right. Last 1 year has been a lull year for the stock price movement. Many of the buyers must be thinking whether they should hold it on or not. We like the company. We are adding on, and this is a good level when one can start stepping up their allocation toward Reliance. We see that eventually this there's unlocking of value will happen once these three companies will get separated, and we are also waiting for the same. And at the same time, they're just not stopping here. They're now talking about the clean energy part on the hydrogen side. It's a big game plan which they're coming out with. I think a lot more is going on. They'll be supplying almost 30% of national of your clean gas by last quarter of 2023 from KG60 basin. Once it will start producing gas. So I think overall you see things are right for the company. It is just that sometime you have that lull period or you have that waiting period to go before you actually see price moving up. And yes, a little bit of frustrating for many of the long-term investors also because it's not yielding much. But my sense is that it's a good time when you can accumulate at your end and wait and watch. Otherwise, also if it's a long-term play and you see that they are adding everywhere in Geo also added for almost 50 lakh client base now. They're close to about 44 crore of client base using Geo. Their services have also step up. They're talking about reaching to all 22 circles with 5G by end of this summer 2023. So plans are big. I think we should look at. We like the company now. You should do your diligence at your end before adding this company to your portfolio. We have this as part of our portfolio.
Right. So that's with regards to where Reliance Industries go. Overall, if you see in terms of Zensar Technologies as well, that's an interesting stock to watch out because last 2 3 sessions we've seen some good strength that has built up in terms of Zensar Technologies is concerned. Now, apart from that, in fact, you already have a Nippon Life India which has picked up additional stake in Zensar Technologies, and IT as a sector probably is seeing some bit of a churn that's happening. What's the sense that you pick up with the Zensar Technologies?
So there's overall slowdown, and we can see that in the price movement of all the IT companies in anticipation of that US will slow down. But I think so we're looking at this business. It's not a part of our universe. But yes, you're right that one can start looking at IT as a place where there's hardly any movement since last 1.5 years. And this is what has been happening across IT sector. Every company we are seeing that there is a news about that maybe job cuts will come or maybe recession will hit, and that will affect all these IT companies because their major exports are their major business comes from export. Zensar's also dependency on US is 70% of their overall revenue, how they are making their revenue book. My view is that whatever you are looking at to buy, whether it's Zensar or any other mid cap, let's say L&D Technologies or any other company, Mindtree, you should look at buying that company as an opportunity at these levels where you can add and keep adding in a staggered manner, and then hold it on for next 3 to 4 years or 5 years. That's what we are looking at. Looking at the management and the business mode, if you see, the company is very well placed. It's been doing a consistent growth revenue in consistent currency form. Yes, there might be some question mark on the way. They're acquiring clients, but yes, overall, it's a good business, but it's not part of the universe.
Okay. So that's with regards to our Zensar Technologies. Another stock that I want to discuss with you is in terms of where Uflex goes, right? Uflex, that stock is down almost around 6% in India. The overall markets are down as well. But there was some negative news coming in terms of the income tax department searching Uflex offices across 64 locations. Overall, if you see in terms of the stock from a business perspective, what's the sense that you pick up?
Yeah, they obviously they are in news because of this raids by IT team, and stock is almost down by 13-14% now in last 2 days. Hiral, my sense is as we go down the lane 1 year, 2 year, packaging is picking up big time. They have all the marking names. I was just going through presence in 144 countries. They have plants across 11 countries. All marking names, whether Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Amul, or any other global brands they are working with. And the way this entire culture of your packaging will pick up, they will have their good time coming their way. Now, point is, business-wise, it's a great business. It's a very good space to be. But one thing which everybody has to notice, and when you actually buy a business or when you buy a company, you buy a part of that business. So you should look at that management also. I don't know, there's nothing much which has come up from the rates. We are also waiting, that what type of news will flow in. But yes, having said that, just keep a close eye on the management also, irrespective of uh, any business which is a good business. But if the management part is questionable or you have any doubt on the management, then just be a little slow while allocating your hard-earned money to that business. So nothing against, because I don't know any update information
Right.
is there, but let it come and then wait and watch, and then
Right.
you can take a call.
Absolutely. Moving on, we're talking of the El Nino as well as we're talking of really hot summers and high temperatures have started coming in already. On the back of which, you have stocks like Symphony, Blue Star that are buzzing in trade today, and the anticipation, in fact, from large brokerage houses is that the demand and the volume growth is going to be good, as well as if you see in terms of price increases, that could be on the radar as well. Taking both these factors, which could be positive for companies like these. What's your view and what would you advise an investor to do?
I totally buy what you are saying, that we are in early summers. I'm in
Mm,
Delhi, and surprisingly, this is not a time when sweaters goes out. In fact, in even evenings, you don't need sweaters now. So yes, we are heading for early summers, and both these companies, Symphony and Blue Stars, they are very well placed in terms of the demand which they are going to get from market. But which are coming from this acquisition, and they've been struggling a bit. But yes, on the Blue Star side, we have seen their majority towards business coming through corporate conducting, and that's where we see that that will catch, and that can be a good pick in your basket. But it's a very cramped space, Kiran.
mm.
There are many players, there are many players in this space. So I'm saying between these two, yes, we
Right.
are, we, yeah.
You like Blue Star, I understand, but in Symphony as well, any view in terms of the buyback that they've said is announced as well? 2,000 rupees per share is what they're looking at, and that's a substantial upside from the current market price.
Yes, but as I said, that I'm not pretty sure if you're getting a good exit, one can actually do that. But they're not. But that's what I feel about the company. But I'm not pretty sure about how things will span out for Symphony. Maybe you can do research at your end. But yes, Blue Star, one can look at Blue Star.
Right. Another last talk that I want to talk to you about is solar industries. What's your view with regards to solar industry, Kshitiz?
Very well. Here we like the stock. It's a part of our investment universe. It's a part of our PMS offering portfolio also. The way the company has graduated from just explosive manufacturer to various other streams, like now they're manufacturing drones, they're manufacturing Pinnacle rockets. They have now they have ventured into many of the aerospace development teams also. They're working with Israel for their propellant fuel also. I think that the way they have restructured themselves, and they have graduated from just an explosive manufacturer, it's huge. So their core business, which is explosive manufacture, which will and should do well because of main client being Coal India, and infra is the focus by the government. At the same time, their new ventures will and should do well. So I very sincerely feel that one is, when you venture into a new thing, if your core business will remain intact and the new thing is also shipping up, I think that will result in a much bigger game what they are offering. So they are becoming much competitive with regard to their peers in terms of pricing, global peers. So a lot of procurement by Indian Army, Indian government has been done from solar. I think with the recent last order of Armenia also, they got 120 million on their on their company balance sheet, that they'll be providing stuff which Armenia is asking for. So I'm saying overall, we like the franchise, we like the management, we like the way they are growing, we like the way they are exploring new avenues of growth. I think we have this in our portfolio. You can do your research. We like the company very well.
Right. So that's with regards to solar industry. So a lot of stocks that we discussed today. And thank you, Kshitiz, for giving us and the viewers your views as well in terms of what should be done with these counters. Thank you. Stay safe and speak to you soon again.
Thank you very much.